18. I am a proud wife and I am a boy mom. I have a teenager and one who's teething. He just turned 10 months today. So we've got teens and teething going on in this house. And if you're a mom, you know that that's kind of wild. I didn't plan that accordingly. But I always say that I'm up for a good challenge. Um, my favorite benefit of ketones is the mental clarity. It's been really, really helpful with having a new baby, the energy and being able to turn my brain on first thing in the morning. And so, if you're just jumping on here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, we're talking about these fun little packets here. These are called Pure Therapeutic Ketones. And what it is a packet that you pour into water and you can shake it or stir it. This one's stirred. And when you drink it in 59 minutes or less, it puts your body into a state of ketosis, which just simply means that it gives you better mood, energy, focus, mental clarity, fat loss, appetite and craving control, better sleep, skin, digestion. Yes, it sounds like magic. And we're going to hear a little bit more later from a friend about how this stuff works because I don't know all the science behind it. I just know that I drink it and it helps me feel amazing. It's allowed me to be a better mom, show up as a better wife. It's allowed me to drop 46 pounds postpartum. And not just that, but also gain muscle and preserve my muscle mass. And so I have little muscles popping out in places all over, and I haven't set foot in a gym, you guys. So this stuff really is amazing. And I'm super, super excited because we have another friend on here tonight who is actually going to share her story as well. So Renee, if somebody could unmute Renee for us so we can hear a little bit about, oh, there she is.
I'm
Renee,
I'm here. Can you hear
how's it
me?
going? Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. My name is Renee Davis. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland. I'm 53, married with 4 grown children and 7 grandsons, no girls, one of which I have joint custody. I work a full-time job, a part-time job. I recently became a promoter, so that's 3 jobs. I've been drinking ketones for 3 months now. Before ketones, I didn't have the energy to do anything, to exercise daily, basic chores around the house, play with my grandchildren. My overall mood was not stable, kind of like a roller coaster. I worked 2 jobs, like I said. My sleep pattern was off. I worked late nights and didn't have the energy to maintain that schedule. I ate anything and everything. I was uncomfortable in my body. In a size 2X shirt and a size 14 pants. I was over 200 pounds and I felt like my muscle was covered in fat. I had no self confidence at all. Since drinking ketones, I honestly feel great. Even though it's a work in progress still, I don't feel bloated. I feel motivated. I have the energy to walk sometimes several times a day. I do my chores around the house. I play with my grandsons. Um, my mood is calm and stable, which is a good thing. I sleep a regular 7 to 8 hours a day. I feel rested for the next day. And I've changed my eating habits. I eat healthy food. I don't have the cravings. But when I do have a craving, I'll go for something healthy. So I started this journey 3 months ago, and the small changes I've noticed in my body. I can bend over and tie my shoes without getting winded. I can wear my wedding ring and it fits. I can wrap a towel around me after I get out of the shower and it actually closes now. I have 2 belt loops left on my belt, 2 little holes left. I can sit crisscross applesauce on the bed with my grandson. And my husband, here's the big one. My husband actually commented on my body slimming down. He noticed the change. So I feel more comfortable, more confident in myself and my body. I weigh under 200 pounds for the first time in 10 years. I've lost 20 pounds of fat and I can feel my muscle when I work out now. What I'm excited about most moving forward is to stay on this journey and see how much more my body changes. I feel super excited for the energy I have to do more things. I want to try a hike. I want to go to the beach in a bathing suit and feel comfortable about that. I want to try to conquer that hill on our daily walks that I can't do yet. But the biggest thing is my self-confidence. I've just gotten it back and I want to see how much it can grow. And that's it. Thanks for letting me share.
Wow, you guys show Renee some love. Give her some snaps on the screen. That's incredible. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
brave and vulnerable and sharing your story with us. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I think that you shared something that just about every one of us could relate to. You hit all of the points, right? Wanting to feel better, wanting to be able to move, bend over and tie our shoes, right? Walking
Yeah.
up those hills. So we appreciate you, Renee. Thank you so much. That's incredible and super inspiring, right, y'all? Love it. Thank you. Thank you. What a story. And there are tons of stories like that within our community. And like I said, you're just getting started on hearing the information here tonight, but if you're already inspired, drop a 1 in the chat because that really fired me up. And we're going to get into some more information that might inspire you even more to, if you're not yet drinking ketones, start drinking them. And if you are drinking them, keep drinking them forever because they are a super powerful technology. We have a special guest on the line tonight who's going to share with us a little bit about why and how they work. But before we get there, I'm super excited to introduce to you my friend and mentor, someone who helped introduce me to this product and this community, and who has really just impacted many, many lives all around the globe and continues to just share this product with his heart center. And Nick, what's going on?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you, Becca. Thanks for the introduction. And Renee, thank you for sharing your story. So powerful. Well, I'm really excited to continue this call. My name's Nick. For those of you I haven't met yet, I live out in Minnesota. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for the last 8 years. And believe it or not, I used to be a full-time airline pilot, and I was introduced to ketones by a flight attendant, which is kind of fun. So tonight we're going to have some fun and kind of go into some more details around like why this stuff works. We have a special guest on tonight who I remember hearing from about 8 years ago. And when I heard him speak, like you're going to hear in a second, I'm just like, holy smokes, there's something really to this. Like, this isn't just some powder that we're trying to peddle. Like, there's real science that goes into this. There's like multiple patents that are on the product. And it just fascinated me. And the more that I listened to what this doctor and some others had to say, the more I realized everybody needs this. Like, we have our hands on something so special that like my mom needs to drink it, my dad needs to drink it, my sister needs to drink it, my kids need to drink it, and everywhere in between. And I went on a mission, right? I went on a mission to introduce this to people around me so that their lives could shift, just like you heard Renee's. So before we go any further, I want to introduce my friend, Dr. Ryan Lowry. You might have, if I just was actually messaging with somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, I have that book, The Ketogenic Bible. Is that the same guy? So if you've ever been into the world of the ketogenic diet, like ketones pair very well with it, but you're going to find that they're independent. This individual is the author of that book, which is pretty cool. And he's just a wealth of knowledge. So Dr. Ryan, how's it going? Real quick, you want to introduce yourself and just say hi?
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for having me on. Renee, I was tearing up during that. That's incredible. It's amazing to see. When I first started studying ketones about 12 years ago, these are the stories that I dreamed of, right? Of like, these are the type of things that I love seeing when you talked about getting the energy to play with your grandson. Like, that's priceless to me. And it's amazing that this technology that 12 years ago we thought was impossible to bring to the market is now possible, and we're hearing stories. So thank you so much for sharing that. You are a real life superhero. So thank you for sharing that.
I love it. I love it. Sorry, I just had my 7-year-old who was actually a baby on the way when we started drinking ketones, and she's actually been drinking them since she was 2. Came back from dance and she got her pajamas on, so she's going to join us.
Love it.
But Dr. Ryan, real quick, I guess tell us, what are ketones? What is BHB? Like, why does the ingredient in here matter so much? Maybe just
Absolutely.
share with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that don't know who I am, we've spent the last, like I said, 12 years studying ketones. We started out looking at the ketogenic diet. So we were very interested in looking at the time, everyone was looking at epilepsy and how that was affected with the ketogenic diet. We were interested in just how about general performance, body composition with the ketogenic diet. And so we started studying that about 14 years ago. About 12 years ago, we came across something called exogenous ketones. And this ingredient, this incredible ingredient that we have inside of this ketonet called BHB, how we were able to extract it and say, you know what, you don't necessarily need to be on the ketogenic diet to get the benefits of ketones. We saw that. You've heard of all these different benefits of the ketogenic diet, right? People will lose weight, they feel better, less inflamed. But let's be honest, for most people, it's difficult to do. So we said, how do we extract that out and take the molecule that your body's producing, and how can we deliver it inside of a packet? And around that same time, the Department of Defense invested about $6 million to try and uncover this. They wanted to basically put the ketogenic diet in a pill. And they spent a lot of money trying to figure it out. And it went absolutely nowhere for them. They couldn't figure it out. They tried to use something that literally tasted horrible. It was this thing called a ketone ester, and they couldn't figure it out. About 3 years later, we were able to uncover ketone salts and BHB, which is why we now have it in a delicious, yummy packet. They were just too early to the game. And so it's amazing to see how far this has come and how amazing ketones are and what they can do for the body. I could go into a lot of different areas talking about it. But like one of the ones that Renee talked about, to me, is the most interesting, and I'll probably start with that one and then we could branch off. But essentially, most people right now are primarily reliant on glucose, right? When you eat carbohydrates or you eat sugar, your body's primarily running on carbohydrates as a fuel. The problem with that is that as we get older, right, after the age of 30, our body's ability to utilize glucose goes down. So let me know in the chat, maybe put a 1 in the chat. If you eat, when you have like sugar or high carbohydrate foods, you don't feel as good, right? It's like you feel good in the moment, right? You eat that cake or you might drink that soda and it's like, oh, you get this quick little buzz, but then afterwards you're like, oh, my tummy hurts. I don't feel as good, right? See a lot of 1s coming up in the chat. The reason that is that when we're young, and we're 5, 6, 7 years old, we could eat candy, run around, and do everything. Unfortunately, our metabolisms and our bodies change over time. As we get older, we cannot utilize glucose as well. However, there's a different source of fuel that we can utilize, and that is ketones. And so as we get older, our body actually becomes better and better at utilizing ketones, which is why so many people see increased mood and increase focus with ketones. You ever are working in the middle of the day and you're like, oh, I'm hangry. I can't focus. I'm not really feeling great. And usually you have to chug a huge cup of coffee, or people chug some of these terrible energy drinks that are not really energy drinks. They're just caffeine loaded water. And it's just trying to get you to get some energy. Ketones provide you real energy. They actually provide energy at a cellular level for the body that allows you better focus, better fuel, right? And overall just better cognitive function. So to me, that's one of the most important areas or aspects of BHB. And I could probably talk about 5 or 6 different others. But Nick, I'll pass it back to you.
I love it. I love it. Like, the fact that we can fuel our cells at the mitochondrial level with something that just like the body can process is just amazing. I noticed when I go to the gym, I'm able to do a lot more than I used to, and I seem to keep getting stronger and stronger. Why is that? Like, why does performance just increase even when somebody's just like maybe they're going for a walk or maybe they're going for a run or maybe they've never done that before and now they are? Like, why do they see such a transformation or an impact?
It's such a novel fuel for most of our bodies because most people don't fast long enough to produce ketones. Most people aren't on a ketogenic diet to produce any substantial amount of ketones. So we're primarily running on this glucose all the time. And if we're not eating all day long, which we shouldn't be, but if we're not eating all day long and providing glucose and sugar to our bodies, eventually we have these ebbs and flows, right? It feels like a roller coaster. Sometimes right after you eat, it's like, oh, great, I got all this energy. And then you crash, and then you get more energy, and then you crash, right? Whereas ketones kind of provide this like sustained, clean fuel that lasts several hours inside of our body. So we feel better we feel like we can walk more, like Renee talked about. You feel better when you're going to the gym. It's because you're providing this superior source of fuel for your brain, your muscle tissues, and actually your heart is a big user of ketones as well.
I love it. So right now, Pruvit has a ultimate transformation system, which is ketones in the morning, our Keto Pro in the afternoon, and then we're doing an iFast kind of once a month. Can you just explain, like, why would somebody transform, and how is this different from your typical like weight loss diet? What's actually happening with this beyond just weight loss?
Yeah, it's a really great point. A lot of times people just focus on restriction, right? They try and when you're talking about weight loss, people go, well, how many calories can I get you down to? Our goal is how many calories can I get you to eat yet still see the results, right? I don't want you to go on a super strict diet. I don't want you to starve and be like, oh, I only need to eat 500 calories. We want to provide you with as much fuel as possible, yet still see results. And that's exactly what this ultimate transformation system is that we're providing a superior source of fuel with ketones to make you feel better. Our Pro is meant to be lower calorie, yet still support like muscle function. Because a lot of times when you're dieting, you tend to lose muscle. You see this a lot in people who have, if you've ever dieted before, it's like, oh, I might have lost 5 or 10 pounds. But unfortunately, the majority of that usually is muscle. Most people lose a lot of muscle when they diet down. Our goal is for you to not lose any muscle. We want to lose fat mass. That is the key. So that's why we don't focus on the scale a ton. We want to lose fat and maintain or gain muscle. And this system is built to do that. And so that's kind of how we designed it, why we designed it. And ultimately, our goal is to allow you to get the best bang for your buck without having to go through these starvation diets or do like ridiculous amounts of cardio just to see the results you're looking for.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's already fun just seeing and hearing about the results that are happening just this month from brand new customers and brand new people. Tell me this. I know you're involved in a lot of the research. I know KetoNet has like 8 patents on it or something, and Pruvit as a whole has 30 or 50. What's got you most excited for the future of BHB and ketones, and where do you see all this going?
Yeah, I think as of today, we have 46 granted patents and 103 pending. So that just shows you the amount of IP that is around these products. So there's a lot. I'm obviously excited for a lot of different areas. I will say this: if there is one ingredient that anyone in this world could take to ultimately improve their health span, it is BHB. And we have the bioidentical version of that ingredient and all these patents around it. And I think that is a major area of focus for a lot of people. Everyone right now, you're hearing people talk about anti-aging, longevity. Like this is that hack to help get you there. And I hate to even call it a hack, but it's a quicker way to get there than most people would even realize, right? You don't have to go through crazy fasting or be on a strict ketogenic diet to get the benefits of ketones. We have it inside of a sachet that we can deliver. And in 15 minutes, we've tested this in our lab. I forgot to mention that earlier. We actually have a 20,000 square foot lab here in Tampa, Florida, where we do all types of clinical research testing. So we bring people into our lab, we do cognitive testing, body composition testing, strength testing, you name it. And from the highest level athletes in the world and the highest level performers to people who have Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, we work with all of them in between. And a lot of times we're testing ketones on these individuals. And so I'm excited about how the potential for ketones in the anti-aging longevity space. And on top of that, right now, everyone's talking about appetite suppressant, right? They're trying to create different things to, hey, I'm trying to take this injection pill, well, you name it, to try and suppress my appetite. Unfortunately, there's a lot of side effects with a lot of those things that most people are taking. Imagine you had something that delivers like a lot of the things like Renee was just talking about, better focus, better mood, better energy, yet also helps suppress your appetite, which we've seen in our lab and several studies have shown with BHB, but also improves your health span and increases your longevity. Like that is the ultimate ingredient, and we're very fortunate to have our hands on it.
I love it. If somebody wants more information, more details on kind of what you're talking about, is there a resource that's easily available or you can point them to?
Right now, fortunately, a lot of the videos we've recorded are on the Pruvit TV website and all of the YouTube videos that we have there. There's so much information and resources. We have a lot of keto academies that we've recorded that are all there. So much incredible information that you can get right there.
Perfect. So Pruvit TV, it's an app. You just download it and you'll be able to watch video after video after video with a lot of the stuff that Dr. Ryan's sharing here. Well, Dr. Ryan, any final thoughts? I really appreciate your time tonight, and thanks for hopping on. I know this was last minute.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys, and I'm super excited for you to get your hands on some more BHB and ketones.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Give Dr. Ryan some love in the chat. Appreciate you. I mean, what's amazing here, guys, is all we have to do is open this up, put it in a shaker bottle, shake it up and drink it, and we get the benefits. Dr. Ryan and his partner, Dr. Jacob, and a handful of others have spent like over a decade doing the research, putting in the effort and the work and the studies to make it possible. So it's pretty cool. But I want to turn it back over to Becca. And Becca, I'd love to hear more. Just, I know people are probably, there's a lot of brand new people here. In fact, if you're new, maybe less than a week or two into drinking ketones, share that in the comments. Share how long you've been drinking them, and let's give them some love. And if you've been drinking them for a while, just share how long you have, and maybe share your favorite flavor or your favorite benefit. Would love to see that. But Becca would love to know, how does somebody start? Like, what's the next step if they do want to experience ketones?
I love it. And I'm going to add a little bit more to that. If you are on this call and you've never had ketones before, say me in the comments below, because we are super excited for you to get your hands on some of these amazing packets and taste them and feel how amazing you feel when you're in ketosis. So love that. There are a few ways for you to get started. The first is we have a really awesome box called the Nat 20 box. And it's going to give you a variety of flavors. This is option number 1. It comes with 20 servings, 10 charged, 10 caffeine free, and you're going to get to taste a bunch of different flavors so you can test them out and see which one you like the best. The second option to get started is the Ultimate Transformation Bundle. You heard Nick talk about it. This is where instead of just testing the water, you're going to jump all in and you're going to give this system a real go and experience all of our products and see the results, right? So you're going to get to try the ketones, but you're also going to give it your all it's a 25-day program that's going to give you everything that you need to experience an ultimate transformation. It also comes with an action guide that comes with some movement and some food options for you. So you're going to get coaching, you're going to get a group that's going to have support in it. And it's just really a great option to go with. And then actually the third option to get started is the one that I started with, and it's the option to become a promoter and join the community. And when I was introduced to ketones, I actually was in the fitness and nutrition space, And I didn't believe that this packet could do what it said it could do until I watched somebody for 8 or 9 months and saw how it transformed their life. But when I said yes to this opportunity and this product, it was because I was a single mom and I was in a space where I had more money going out than I did coming in. And I was struggling. I wouldn't even call it paycheck to paycheck. I had to pick and choose which bills I was going to pay that month. And I ended up running out of heating fuel in my house in November in New Hampshire, and it was cold. We could see our breath. I had to put on an extra sweatshirt. I told my son to go get his winter jacket. We were wearing our coats inside, and I called my friend and I told him what was going on, crying. And he actually said to me, "Well, there's an opportunity here to make money if you want it." And so that's what I said yes to, and the product has since changed my life. But I'm super excited to share with you guys this same opportunity. There is the third option to get started, which is joining the community. And Nick's going to share. Nick, can you just share a little bit with us about what it looks like to become a promoter, what that means, and why this business and why now?
Absolutely. When I got started, my friend messaged me, the flight attendant. She said, "Nick, I found it." And I said, "What did you find?" She said, "I found ketones. This is going to change the world." And I didn't understand what she was talking about. I'd never done the diet, didn't know what ketosis was. She said, "When you drink this, you feel amazing. Everybody needs to know about this, which means we're going to help a lot of people and we're going to build a really cool business." And she wasn't wrong. Like, I started to drink it. I started to feel amazing. I started to crush my own health goals. And I was sharing what I was doing with the pilots I was flying with and the flight attendants I was working with. They were getting excited about it. They were asking me, they were getting trial packs from me. I was selling them 5 or selling them 10 out of my suitcase. And next thing you knew, I became the keto crack dealer at the airline, dropping white magical powder into their V files. They were dropping envelopes of cash into my V file. And it was cool because they would go home. Next thing you know, some of their wives were drinking it, and then they started to share it, and then it's just started to like blossom and ripple out into different communities all throughout the country. And I realized pretty soon, just because of what Dr. Ryan shared, I realized, okay, there's something magical here. Number one, I need to tell my mom, dad, and sister about this. My sister's on this Zoom. I see her right now. And number two, I realized if I was that excited about sharing it with the people that I loved and cared about, like, we could build a really cool community. Because generally in this style of business, you don't want to go talk to those people because you're embarrassed. In this, I needed to because I wanted them to live their best lives. My mom and dad are 70 and 74 and literally living better in their 70s than they did in their 50s. So I knew I had my hands on something special. I knew there was like an opportunity here. And recently I realized over the last 8 years, I've been paid to focus on my health and like completely smash my health goals. And there's not a lot of businesses out there where the better you get, like the more fit you get, the more you can earn, meaning the more people you're going to help. Like, it just creates this accountability cycle and this excitement cycle where you're doing something, you're like, "Oh, I'm feeling great." You share it with a few friends, they start to feel great, and it just creates this momentum, which is super fun. So we have an incredible business model. If you're interested, I'm going to invite you to get back to Invited You Here and just ask them some questions. We have an amazing, Becca mentioned our Nat 20 variety box, which looks like this. We have our ultimate transformation system, which gives you the box, it gives you our protein, and it gives you our iFast accelerator system, which is a really cool combination of just products and a system in order to help you transform. If you're ready to hit the ground running as a customer and like just want to take control of your health, do the ultimate transformation. It's working wonders for people. And then the third option, as a promoter, you're going to grab one of our promoter packs. And I'm just going to show you real quick. I'm going to share my screen, a couple of the options so you can see what they look like. But if you go to whoever invited you here has their own website, they'll send it to you. This is what the Nat 20 variety box looks like, which is really great. You can click on that. This is our ultimate transformation system. And then if you go here, become a promoter, we actually have a brand new system. It's called this Brand Builder Transformation. And I'm excited about this. I've had a handful of people get started with it this month. It gives you the ultimate transformation system yourself, which includes our action guide, which is like a 60-page guide on just how your body works. Really powerful. And it includes 3 additional boxes for you to share. So we're going to teach you how to get those into people's hands. We're going to teach you how to sell trial packs. It's really powerful. If you actually just sell through those in trial packs, you'd bring in $480, which would cover all but $100 of your own product, which is really cool. And at the end of the day, if you're thinking, man, I don't have time, or I don't have the skill, or I don't, we actually have a system. And if you plug into this system, all you have to do is just kind of follow the steps. It's like, do this, do this, do this. And it just works when people plug into the system. In fact, if you get started with that and then you help just 7 people in the first 30 days get one of the ultimate transformation systems, you'll actually hit what we have call MVP, and you'll earn over $700 just for helping 7 people. It's really simple like that. And then we have a path called All-Star, where if you help 3 people do exactly what you just did, you can earn an extra $1,000 bonus. And you can hit that 7 people up to 3 times in the first month. So there's plenty of rewards to be had. At the end of the day, though, our goal is to help as many people crush their health goals and create a community, because right now this is rippling throughout the country. So, Becca, that's my 2 cents on being a promoter. Drink ketones, share them with people around you. You guys are going to love it.
I love it. You guys, what he just said right there is super, super powerful, that we just get to share. We get to share what we love simply, right? If you can have 7 friends or family members or 7 people that you know join you doing the Ultimate Transformation Kit, you will earn money for getting healthy and helping your loved ones get healthy as well, right? And so that was really what sold me when I said yes to this. Was I knew I had a passion for helping people, and I knew that I could follow instructions and I was coachable. And so that what he said about the systems is that it's just that easy. People have gone before you and laid out a path for you to follow, and whoever you're working with will literally plug you into a system that if you just follow the system, you will be successful. And the only other part that you need is a heart for helping people. And so I'm super, super excited for all of you. And I want you to now message the person who invited you to this call. And there's those 3 options to get started. Option number 1 is you just want to test out the Nat. You want to try it. You want to dip your toe in, taste different flavors with the Nat 20 box. Option number 2 is you're ready to go all in and really hit the ground running and get an ultimate transformation bundle for yourself. Option number 3 is to join this community and become a promoter and start sharing this while you get healthy and help other people to come along with you on the journey. And so make sure you message whoever invited you to this call and let them know, I want to get started with option number 1, 2, or 3, and they will help you and they will send you the information so that you can do that. I'm super excited for you to get your hands on ketones and to get started with this. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next call or at the next event. I hope you guys have a really awesome night, and thanks for joining us.